Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's conversation on Start Selling and Grow Your Business on Amazon Canada. I'm Ulrike Bargedalia, the Senior Director for Digital Economy, Technology and Innovation here at the Canadian Chamber, and I'll be moderating today's event, so welcome everybody. Now, a little bit of context in regards to today's topic, and without wanting to state the obvious, the pandemic has pushed a lot of consumers online, may I say all of us perhaps, or the majority of us, and in order to purchase the products we wanted or we desired, and in particular during lockdowns, that was often the only option we had in order to get the products we needed. I must say, though, and that's probably also nothing new to anyone here, that online shopping is really not a novelty per se. There's a lot of data out there. There are a lot of reports and statistics on a Canadian and a global level confirming that online shopping was increasing year to year, but the pandemic has amplified and accelerated this trend, which is a great growth potential and opportunity. And speaking of growth potential and opportunity, this is where it brings me here to Amazon Canada, which we have the honor to hear from today and to cover a few areas on that growth potential for businesses. And Amazon Canada in particular is focused on SMBs, and I do know that about 98% of Canadian businesses are small to medium-sized businesses, so this is really fantastic. And it speaks to their customer-centric culture and approach as well to embrace the SMB market. So today we have three areas we will have a closer look at. One is how Amazon Canada can support your business by reaching millions of customers across the country, but also around the globe. So that clearly speaks for the global potential out there. And again, the immense potential I referenced earlier. Secondly, in order to embrace this potential, you need to understand how to get started selling on Amazon Canada. And lastly, how to grow and scale your business on Amazon Canada, including using tools made available like Fulfillment by Amazon, brand registry, and much more. So joining me for this important conversation today is Matt Turner. He is the Head of Business Development for British Columbia with Amazon Canada. And Matt joined Amazon in 2018. And in his current role, Matt collaborates with trade associations throughout British Columbia, but clearly also with national business associations such as the Canadian Chamber today. Thank you for doing this and being here, Matt. And while Matt is at the same time working closely with the SMB sector, providing guidance with selling on Amazon Canada. And previously, Matt was working with some of the largest US sellers on Amazon.com and assisted them with cross-border expansion to Amazon Canada. So without much further ado, Matt, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Ulrike. I really appreciate the introduction. Thank you, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today speaking with you. I'm going to start the event with just a quick video, and we will dive into the conversation.
To all the homegrown businesses who've grown out of their homes, to all the companies who don't need help selling 50 million, but could use a little help shipping it, and to all the brands who aren't sold on selling online, here there's room to grow, ways to move, and so many reasons to believe that your brand can do more. Grow, ship, sell, and thrive with Amazon.
All right, hello and welcome everyone to this presentation of Selling on Amazon Canada. My name is Matt Turner and I am the Head of Business Development for small and medium-sized businesses in British Columbia here at Amazon. And again, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here speaking with everyone today. Now, If you, before we get started, if you do have to leave early, please make sure to take note of our contact information here so you can reach out to us directly, especially for those businesses that want more guidance or information on selling on Amazon who have yet to make that leap. We certainly want to hear from you, and we'll be able to provide you with some additional resources and support. And in most cases, myself or someone on our team will be able to provide you with that assistance. Also, if you represent a group of businesses, such as a chamber or a business, a trade association, and you would like to bring similar content to your members, we would love to hear from you as well. So please feel free to reach out to us directly, and we would love to collaborate on similar initiatives. Now, today's event is going to be broken into two different parts. The first part, we're going to talk about Amazon and our presence in Canada. So we'll give you an idea of what our footprint looks like, some of the investments that we've made, and some of the logistics that we have in place to support small businesses throughout the country. In part two, we're going to start diving into some of the details of actually how to start selling on Amazon Canada and what you need to get started. Now, I will say if you are an existing Amazon seller, some of this may be information you already know. So this is going to be at a very high level of an introduction to selling on Amazon and what that entails. If you have additional questions after this event, again, take note of our contact information, reach out to us, and we'll be happy to assist. I will say on that contact information, that's going directly to me and my team. And we work with less than 1% of all Amazon sellers on Amazon, so it's pretty unique to get one of us on the phone, and we're here to support and help as much as we can. So definitely take advantage of that. Reach out to us, and we can get you set up. All right. With that being said, let's jump into the discussion. So at Amazon, one of our biggest drivers is our obsession with customers. At Amazon, our mission is to be Earth's most customer-centric company, to build a place where people can come to find and discover anything they might want to buy online. All of the innovation over the last 19 years has been guided by this customer obsession. And as this quote shows, we start with the customer and work backwards. Now, we cannot think about customer obsession without innovation. They're simply two sides of the same coin. Our desire to delight customers drives us to invent on their behalf. Innovation means thinking differently and having the audacity to do it. Jeff talks about how customers are always dissatisfied, even when they report being happy. Even when they don't know it yet, customers want something better. And no customer ever asked Amazon to create the Kindle or our Prime membership program, but we're thrilled they like both of them. Now, let's hear a little bit more from Jeff on customer obsession.
How did you get that focus on customer service rather than on being an internet company?
I don't know. I think we have always had, and it's been from the very, very beginning. You can go back and read our 1997 shareholder letter, and the core of the company is customer obsession as opposed to competitor obsession. And that works really well for us. It's I think that the advantage of being customer focused is that customers are always dissatisfied. They always want more. And so they pull you along. If you're trying to serve them, they pull you along. Whereas if you're competitor obsessed, if you're the leader, you know, you can kind of look around and you see everybody running behind you. Maybe you slow down a little. And customers are always pulling you. So I think if you want to be pioneering, if you want to be inventive, if you want a culture that is experimental, then you want to be customer obsessed rather than competitor obsessed.
Now, because Amazon focuses on the customer and not the competition, we've been able to continue to innovate on behalf of our customers. So what do we think customers want? Jeff has said before that he often gets asked, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And he responds by saying, that's an interesting question, but he almost never gets asked the opposite question, which is, what is not going to change in the next 10 years? And that's perhaps the more important question. Now, what we believe will not change over the next 10 years is that customers will want vast selection. They'll want it fast, with convenient delivery, and they'll want competitive prices. Those are the three pillars of our retail strategy. It's that simple. Now, it's impossible to imagine a future where customers say, I love Amazon, I just wish the prices were a little higher. Or, I love Amazon, I just wish you'd deliver a little more slowly. And because of that, we orient our whole strategy around those ideas. They're simple to say, but very hard to execute consistently over time. Now, we've put a lot of energy into delivering on these three pillars for customers, and we'll continue to do so because we think it'll pay dividends 10 years from now. So let's jump back to 2002 when Amazon Canada first started. Now, here's a snapshot of what Amazon.ca looked like early on when we first launched. We sold books, music, and films. And if you compare what our site looked like in 2002 to what Amazon.ca looks like today and the services that we offer today, I think it gives you a sense of the amount of innovation over the past 19 years. So here's what the site looks like today. It's the #1 most trafficked retail website in Canada and #6 overall. Beyond just the graphic redesign, there's a surprising amount of innovation embedded on the page that has happened over the last 19 years. Now, first, it's a more personalized experience. We allow customers a convenient place to access their account settings, order history, Prime benefits. We know more about who you are. Now, we also know more about where you are. We've integrated location awareness to make sure we give customers accurate delivery times as they're shopping. And in the center of the page, we also make personalized product recommendations based on past shopping experiences. These product recommendations are from both retail, meaning Amazon products, as well as third-party sellers or small and medium-sized businesses. Now, we've also innovated to bring a broader selection of products to our customers with traditional categories like home, kitchen and pets, and handmade, which is Amazon's storefront for handmade artisan items. Also in new categories like Kindle tablets, streaming media, and a growing selection of voice-enabled devices under the Echo and Alexa department. Again, all of this innovation has happened over the last 19 years. Now, on this slide, this shows the evolution and growth of Amazon.ca as we've rapidly expanded the categories of products offered, including electronics, kitchen appliances, tools, baby and pet products, cosmetics, and clothing, just to name a few. And by 2013, we were launching new categories every 2 months. We now have a vast selection of tens of millions of products for sale on Amazon.ca, both those sold by Amazon and by small and medium-sized businesses. And the vast majority of the tens of millions of products for sale on Amazon.ca are sold only by small and medium-sized businesses. The marketplace business is a fundamental part of our strategy to make sure customers can find everything they want on Amazon. So how do we get all those products to customers? In 2011, we opened our first Canadian fulfillment center in Mississauga, Ontario. By the end of 2021, we will operate 17 fulfillment centers throughout Canada. Now, our largest fulfillment center is right outside Toronto in Brampton, and it's an Amazon robotics facility, one of our most advanced in the world. All this fulfillment center infrastructure has allowed us to roll out same-day and one-day shipping to millions of customers across the country. And in Toronto, you can order before noon and get your package by 9 p.m. that very same day, even on Saturday and Sunday. And it's not just fulfillment centers. We also have 3 corporate offices in Victoria, Winnipeg, and Ottawa, along with 2 tech hubs in Vancouver and Toronto, and a data center region in Montreal. In total, we have over 23,000 Amazonians across Canada, with thousands more to come. And because of this infrastructure, we're able to tie into Amazon's global network and extend our reach to customers around the world. So we currently have over 300 million active customers in more than 180 countries. In Canada alone, we have almost 16 million monthly unique visitors. That's almost half of the population of Canada visiting Amazon on a monthly basis. And over 30,000 Canadian small and medium-sized businesses from all 13 provinces and territories exceeded over 1 billion in sales on Amazon Canada in 2019. More than 50% of all units sold are from those small and medium-sized businesses who are selling over 60 million products in our stores. Canadian small and medium-sized businesses have achieved over 2 billion in sales in Amazon stores to customers abroad, leveraging Amazon's sales tools and logistics services such as Fulfillment by Amazon to reach those 300 million active customers worldwide. And according to a recent poll, 46% of businesses selling on Amazon Canada are women-owned. Now, here are a few notable brands that are currently selling on Amazon Canada. So let's hear from the team over at GoWood and their experience with Amazon so far.
GoWood is actually the result of a desire of my wife and me to become entrepreneurs together. The first thing we did is to do market research to find a product that we loved and that the market was ready for. And that's how the idea of GoWood sunglasses was born. What sets us apart from the rest is the fact that we're trying to brand our products as a medium expensive product. They may have a certain expectation of, okay, it's a medium pricey purchase, and then they're blown away by the fact that it's super high quality. Another aspect that was very important for us from the beginning is the fact that by using natural resources like wood, we are actively trying to reduce the consumption of plastics in the world. A lot of our customers are students, people that just starting their career, and they may not want to spend a couple $100s for a pair of sunglasses, and they know that you don't have to do that to have a great quality pair of sunglasses that makes you look great as well and is doing good for the environment all at the same time. We started selling through our own web shop in 2014, and so we were completely independent. We were getting pretty busy with the orders we had to fulfill ourselves, and we're working from home, we have an office, we have limited space. If you're doing 50 orders a day or more, that's gonna basically take you, at least half the day. For us, it was a logical step to start selling on Amazon. I think the perception of selling on Amazon for those that haven't actually looked into it can be different from the reality. What they don't realize is that they're missing out on a huge opportunity. By shipping everything to Amazon and using the FBA program and letting Amazon basically take care of all of the fulfillment, it freed up half of the work week again, and that we can then use to focus on growth. The first year alone, we six-folded our revenue, and the year after, we doubled it again. And most definitely, a lot of this growth, if not 95% or more, is due to us being present on Amazon. It's so easy to forward customers to your store on Amazon. And on average, customer converts much quicker than on our own web shop. So it's beneficial to send them to the Amazon storefront. Our engagement with the Amazon community has been nothing short of extremely positive. You're in direct contact with your customer, and as a result, they are giving you all the tools, all the information you need to improve your product. My advice is definitely to start selling on Amazon. The opportunity is endless. The sky is the limit.
So very cool story there from the team at GoWood. I think one of the things that they point out that I like is utilizing Fulfillment by Amazon to free up time so that you can focus on your business and focus on your brand. Now, I like this particular quote from Jeff. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So as a brand owner, if I'm reading this quote, I'm thinking, have I done enough to solidify my brand? Is my messaging clear? Do I know who my intended audience is? Answering these questions helps further drive engagement with customers on branding and product content. So even if a customer doesn't make a purchase, they're still using Amazon to learn more about brands and products. So if you take the add to cart button off Amazon, what's left is a robust collection of product content. Customer reviews, rich detail pages, images, and a Q&A section all make Amazon a product research destination for customers. This product research is tied to both purchasing products online and offline. So according to Forrester Research, for every $1 purchased online, $6 are researched online and purchased offline. And research shows that 59% of customers who visit Amazon do not ultimately purchase their product from our site, but their purchase is actually informed by what they learn while on Amazon from product details and customer reviews. So selling on Amazon Canada isn't just about listing your products and making sales. It's also about engaging with your customers and taking the opportunity to educate them on your brand and products. So that concludes the first section of selling on Amazon. The next section, we're going to dive into the specifics of how to actually get started and what you need to do. So in this next section, we're going to talk about brand owners pretty heavily. So brand owners are going to be businesses that either private label or they own their own products or own their own manufacturing, and they have a brand that they are putting forward. You can also be a reseller on Amazon, where you're taking popular products that already exist and you're reselling them on Amazon, whether they exist in other marketplaces and they haven't been created in Amazon Canada yet on the website. There are definitely strategies for both, but for this particular presentation, we'll be focusing a little bit more on brand owners. So first, we're going to talk about establishing your product brand. And then once you have your product, you'll want to start to know how to get started on selling on Amazon. Next, we're going to talk about discoverability and how to reach that wider audience. And then finally, I'm going to share some resources for improving your understanding of your Amazon business. So selling online still requires the same solid business acumen as selling in person. Now, I'm sure there's a wide range of experienced business owners and entrepreneurs here. Some I've spoken with in one-on-one meetings already and you already have an established brand and business that you want to expand to Amazon Canada. But I've also spoken with several small and medium-sized businesses who are in the early beginnings of their business and who know that they want to sell on Amazon, but don't have a brand or product yet. So when considering what to sell on Amazon, think about these questions. Who's your customer? What is their true need? And what are you offering to solve that need? Now, once you've identified the problem you're going to solve and your product, it's important to build the brand. Now, a brand is how you bring personality to your product. It's about your mission, how people think about your products, and how your image is presented. Again, it's important to solidify your brand so customers can learn more about your products. So how do you know when you're ready to sell on Amazon? When you have your target customer identified, have product ready to ship, and have the supply chain in place to support the volume of sales when you get discovered by a larger audience. And when we're talking about a larger audience, it's important to know we're not just talking about Amazon in Canada, but around the world. So here's a quick look at Amazon's global presence. Now, it's important to note that while sellers may have access to these other marketplaces, their products can only be sold if they're in compliance with local jurisdictions. So in my previous role, whenever I worked with some of our largest Amazon.com sellers, we were working to expand their businesses to sell on Amazon.ca. So if they were in categories such as health, personal care, or toys, or consumables such as supplements, they had to jump through additional hoops to make sure that their product was in compliance with the Canadian government, specifically Health Canada, for if they were in a consumables category. That means they had to add different nutritional labels that were also bilingual, adding bilingual labeling to their products as well. So these are things to consider and to think about whenever you start looking at global expansion. Now, when you're ready to sign up for your Amazon Canada account, you can head over to sell.amazon.ca to self-register, or you can reach out to us directly at sellonamazonca@amazon.com. And again, you'll be put in touch with myself or someone on our team, and we'll help you with getting set up and onboarded on Amazon Canada. Now, you'll be given two different selling plan options. There's an individual plan, which is $1.49 per item sold, or a professional plan at $29.99 per month. So if you plan to sell more than 30 items within a month, the professional plan is going to make the most sense. Now, there are also other fees to consider, and you'll be provided more insight into what those fees are after signing up for an account. If you're not ready to commit to that $29.99 per month on a regular basis, then you can simply convert your account to an individual account and explore Seller Central along with information on additional fees. Now, the individual plan is going to be great for those still in the discovery process and those who don't need access to advanced selling tools or add-on programs. Now, the professional plan is ideal for established businesses and brands who need those additional selling tools and access to other programs like brand registry, like Amazon Business, which is our B2B add-on program, and also advertising on Amazon to help you get discovered. Now, to register, you're going to need the following information. You're going to need a business email address or an Amazon customer account, a chargeable credit card, a government-issued national ID, tax information, a phone number, and bank account number and routing number. So once you've registered and you've got your account set up, it's time to explore Seller Central. So think of Seller Central as your go-to resource for selling on Amazon. It's a gateway to your Amazon business and a one-stop shop for managing your selling account. You can do things such as managing your brand on Amazon, adding product information, making inventory updates, managing payments, and finding helpful content to help you navigate your Amazon business. It's also where you'll list all of your products. So adding a product on Amazon is the first step to having an active or live listing on the website. You can add a product one at a time, upload a file from your catalog, or even create a direct data feed from your inventory system or other online store. But just adding the product isn't enough to be successful. We'll also want to make sure we create a great detail page during the process. So here are the basics of building that great detail page. You have a title, images, product description, bullet points, reviews, and even keywords. Your new Seller Central account will include style guides and best practices to make sure you can create an engaging detail page. But let's take a look at each feature so you have a better idea of what to expect. Now, the best practices for the listing title is to keep it relevant, descriptive, and concise. The style guide will walk you through what should be in your title, the order of descriptions, and consistent formatting. This consistent formatting helps customers understand what they're buying and allows them to quickly scan titles to find the right products. To help make your products discoverable, sellers should consider adding keywords that don't fit in their title into an advertising campaign or for sponsored products, which we're going to touch on a little bit later, or adding them to your actual listing, which is actually behind the scenes. So this helps with your product showing up in organic search results. Now, next, let's talk about images. So we recommend that you add at least 6 photos and a video that show all the features of your product. This is your opportunity to teach your customers what they'll need to know about your product to make a confident buying decision. The images guidelines within Seller Central will explain the technical specs required for images. It'll also show how to ensure they can be zoomed in on and comply with the accessibility features on Amazon. Now, you can highlight the key features of your products through bullet points. Seller Central gives you tips for what to include and how to ensure your customers know everything they need to know about your product at a high level. But for more specific information, customers will look further down the listing at product details. So product details is where a product description is going to be located. Now, this is where customers will find more in-depth information about your product. This is an area where you can go beyond just the simple bullet point descriptions and provide a more imaginative description for the customer. Well-written product descriptions help the customer imagine the experience of owning or handling your product. So put yourself in their shoes and describe the feel of the product, its primary usage, and any benefits to help your customer imagine the experience of owning or handling your product. Now, to provide an even more unique brand experience, brand owners on Amazon will have the ability to create a brand store. So with brand stores, you can create an elevated and dedicated shopping experience for your customers. Creating a brand store can allow you to place all your products in one location and share more of the brand story. Now, this provides an area for curated selection and gives the customer an opportunity to further interact with your brand. Now, Amazon Brand Registry gives you access to tools like a brand store that enable you to more accurately represent your brand. So with Brand Registry, you can also find and report violations and even share information with us to help proactively prevent violations. Transparency and Project Zero are programs within Brand Registry that business can enroll their products in. Transparency is a product serialization service that helps identify individual units and proactively prevent counterfeits from reaching customers. Project Zero is powered by Amazon's machine learning and uses automated protections to continuously scan our stores and proactively remove counterfeits. IP Accelerator helps businesses to more quickly obtain intellectual property rights and brand protection in Amazon's stores. Now, when I typically work with business owners for the first time, one of my first questions is if they're a brand owner and if they have a trademark in Canada. If they are a brand owner and don't have a trademark, then I encourage them to consider starting that application process right away because of the powerful brand tools they can gain access to once approved. Now, the trademark application process in Canada can take up to almost 2 years, so it's important to start as soon as possible. However, utilizing a resource like IP Accelerator can help businesses connect with trusted IP law firms, which provide high-quality trademark registration services at competitive rates. Amazon will then provide businesses using IP Accelerator with access to brand protections and brand building features before their trademark registration is officially issued. Now, customer reviews are one of the most recognizable features of the Amazon shopping experience. So having high volume and predominantly positive reviews help with converting traffic from a visit to a sale. Resources within Seller Central will show you how to learn from reviews, answer questions effectively, and adjust your listings to enhance the shopping experience to help drive positive reviews. Now, a couple of keys to good ratings is 1, accurately describing the product, 2, shipping it quickly, and 3, proactively responding to questions. Now that we have a better understanding of how to create and list products, let's talk about how we'll get those products discovered and in the hands of your customers. So to increase sales, you'll need to look at 2 components: product discovery and sales conversion. Building that great product listing helps with conversion once your customers discover your product. So when you sell online, a key question to ask is, how will customers find your product? Is there an existing intent for your product? Or do you need to build awareness around your product? Tools like sponsored ads will help shape your marketing plan. So within Seller Central, you'll be able to create ad campaigns with tools such as sponsored products and sponsored brands to help drive traffic to your listings and storefront. And here you can see a customer's search populated page of products based on the keywords of the product they're looking for. Sponsored ads will surface items based on those keywords in addition to organic shopping results. For registered brand owners, sponsored brand ads can highlight your brand and direct traffic to your brand store. Now, once customers are finding your products, you're going to need a way to deliver them. So here are 2 ways you can fulfill your Amazon orders. either with Fulfillment by Amazon, where you use Amazon's infrastructure, or through self-fulfillment, also known as Merchant Fulfillment Network. Now, when deciding between these two fulfillment options, it's important to consider not only cost savings and efficiency, but also the amount of time invested in each. One of the many benefits of using FBA is taking the potential logistics headache out of your hands and allowing Amazon to handle it for you. This gives you valuable time back to focus on the most important things, your brand and expanding your business. Now, other benefits include Prime eligible products, which means your products in FBA could be eligible for up to same-day free shipping on eligible orders. You can also take advantage of Amazon's customer service and free up your time while they handle customer questions and returns for you. And it's a pretty simple process to send your products to an Amazon fulfillment center. So let's take a closer look at what that entails. Now, again, within Seller Central, you'll create a shipping plan with the products you want to send to an FBA fulfillment center. You pick the products and use our scanning labels to let us know what you're sending in, and so we know where to store it. You'll also have the option to use a preferred carrier to ship those products to the FBA fulfillment center. So you'll essentially have two labels, one for the carrier and one for Amazon to scan upon arrival. Now, once your product checks in, Amazon stores it until an order is placed. Then they pick it, pack, and ship it to the customer. Now, as your business continues to grow, it'll be important to track your business metrics. With sales traffic and conversion starting to increase, you'll want to keep track of how your business is doing. So Seller Central provides tools for tracking business metrics, including number of visitors, views, conversion rate, and even where the traffic is coming from. You'll also want to pay attention to customer feedback and learn more about who your customers are. Using a powerful tool like brand analytics, brand owners will be able to further enhance and build their brand on and off Amazon. Now, there are a number of reports available, so you can dive deeper into your business. Now, one other benefit here that I want to point out is multi-channel fulfillment. So this gives you the ability to fulfill orders from other channels, meaning with FBA, you can fulfill orders from other sales channels utilizing your inventory stored in an Amazon fulfillment center. You manage your inventory through an online user interface and can direct us to return the inventory in our fulfillment centers at any time. So some keys, some things to point out here is that you can use fast and trusted fulfillment by leveraging the efficiency and accuracy that powers Amazon Prime. Simplify and control operations by managing your business from a single inventory source. And you can grow your business without increasing your fixed costs. You can fulfill orders from any of your shopping channels, including your brand website, mobile marketplaces, social networks, catalogs, and more. And this keeps costs low with our simple, predictable pricing, one fee for pick, pack, and fulfillment, no sign-up fee to get started, and only pay when you ship. And then this also gives you access to Amazon's optimized delivery network, so you can offer expedited delivery that customers expect at low, affordable rates. Now, Seller University is the original learning hub for Amazon, where we have all the video courses and written content to get you started. These are self-service and searchable by topic, and each video is around 3 to 5 minutes long and shows you click by click of what to do next. These videos can be found in Seller Central or on YouTube by searching Amazon Seller University. Now, if you're not able to find the answers you need within these resources, Seller Support is available to provide you with more assistance. So within Seller Central, simply click Help to get started. And from there, you can search solutions to quickly fix your issue, or you can contact Seller Support directly. So that was quite a bit of information. That includes the presentation event for today. I hope that this information has been enlightening and provided new insight to the many benefits of expanding your business to Amazon Canada. I also hope you learned some new information about our initiatives to support small and medium-sized businesses throughout Canada. So as a note, please jot down our contact information here and reach out directly if you'd like to set up a consultation about your business. Again, if you represent a group of businesses, we'd love to hear from you as well. And myself or someone on our team will be in contact to talk about next steps. So at this time, we'll open it up for if there are any questions.
Well, may I say thank you very much. First of all, Matt, I took a lot of notes while listening to you. Yeah, it was incredibly insightful and interesting, and I learned so much, which is what the session is for. And it just provides such an amazing range of opportunities. And as we started off, when I made the introduction and you focused on it, it's on a domestic and a global level. And the tools you provide, it's just really amazing to have listened to it. So thank you so much for that overview. And in terms of questions, if I'm just taking, I see actually was something in the chat and the Q&A. So would you like yourself, Matt, to have a quick look at the Q&A? I think you do have access to it. Right.
So we do have a few questions here. One of the questions here is, are there any products that Amazon would not sell? So yes, there are restricted categories. There are products that we will not allow to be sold on Amazon. Some of those are alcohol, marijuana. Those are not allowed to be sold on Amazon, but there are a wide range of categories. So if there's something specifically that you have in mind, feel free to reach out to us directly and we'll be able to provide more guidance on what those categories are and if any of those categories are restricted. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to sell on Amazon Canada. And one of the things that we are wanting to support is elevating small businesses so that in case the demand in their local community may not be enough to support them, we want to provide another channel to get your brand out there, to get your brand in front of consumers, as many as possible. So just, you know, I focus on British Columbia for the most part. So elevating BC businesses so that customers in Toronto can find their businesses easily, and utilizing Amazon's fulfillment network to get that product to them quickly. Those are the resources and support that we want to provide to those 98% of businesses throughout Canada. There is a question here about costs associated with shipping and inventory storage solutions. So that's a great question. I can't provide details on the specific fees that are associated with that, because once you sign up for an Amazon account, you get access to that information. But I will say that in addition to the professional fee, there is going to be, if you utilize FBA, there is an FBA fee as well as a storage fee. So those are things to consider whenever utilizing that particular service. But at a bare minimum, the professional fee and a referral fee is going to be the bare minimum to sell on Amazon. We have a question. How long does it take to approve new sellers or businesses on Amazon? So that process is through our seller identity verification process. So typically that can take anywhere from 72 hours to a week to go through that process. If you reach out to us directly, we can have a conversation with you about your business, and we can help with getting that set up and making sure that you have everything you need. And typically that process takes about 72 hours to get your business set up if there are no issues. Let's see, I think we've got some questions coming in. So there's a question regarding minimum inventory to send to Amazon. So there's actually no minimum. I mean, obviously zero. You can't send zero quantities into a fulfillment center. You could send one unit if you wanted to. Whenever I work with small businesses for the first time and we're we're trying to get an idea of how popular their items may be. If they have an existing website or an existing storefront, brick and mortar, I suggest we start with their best sellers because we know those are going to gain traction right away. And whenever we're utilizing fulfillment by Amazon, if you want to use FBA, I always suggest sending a small shipment in just to test it out so that you understand the process, the workflow of how to actually ship your product into a fulfillment center. So with that, you may, if you have 5 products that are your best sellers that you want to start with, you may send 5 to 10 units of each of those just to test it out, and then have that second shipment ready to go to send to an FBA fulfillment center so that you don't sell through all of your inventory. Because whenever you sell through your inventory, the listing on Amazon is actually going to be deactivated. So you'll start to lose your sales rank that you've built up. So it's definitely, you definitely want to be on top of how much inventory you're shipping into Amazon. And over a course of a certain amount of time, 3 to 4 months, a year, you'll get an idea of what your turnover rate is, and you'll have a better understanding of how often you need to send inventory into Amazon. All right. Let's see. And Ulrika, did you have some questions as well, I believe?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. There were actually a few questions that came in upon registration, and you had spoken about the fee structure, but I've seen it also somewhere else. Maybe a little reminder. I took note. I learned individual is $149 and professional $29.99, but perhaps you can give one more time a reminder of what the fee structure looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. So the $1.49 per transaction is for individual selling plans. Now that's going to be a limited selling plan where businesses that don't need access to reports to track how their sales conversions are going, or they don't need access to advertising or brand registry or Amazon Business. The individual plan is great for that. It's also great if you're not quite sure Amazon's the right fit for your business right now. It's a great way to learn more about selling on Amazon through Seller Central without committing to that $29.99 professional fee. Now, the professional plan is for those businesses that have that established brand. They know that they're going to have high volume and they're going to grow. That's going to give access to a full suite of resources, especially if you can be brand registered on Amazon. That is going to be a game changer for a lot of small businesses because you get access to tools like brand analytics, and brand analytics is amazing because it will tell you so much about your customers, your competitors, what keywords are associated with those, what is in your customers' shopping basket, and what similar items they may be looking for. It's an incredible resource for brand owners. So that's available through the professional plan, which again is that $29.99 per month. And again, there are going to be additional fees if you want to utilize advertising on Amazon, or if you want to utilize fulfillment by Amazon. There are additional fees associated with those services. But at a bare minimum, there is the $29.99 per month, and then there's the referral fee, which is per transaction. That's basically that's going to Amazon. That's typically a 15% per transaction.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. And you had mentioned earlier, and I provided it in the introduction as well, that you have a strong focus and, may I say, passion for small to medium-sized businesses. So one question was, how small is too small to do business with Amazon?
So I don't think there is a right or wrong answer to this question. I think, we have, if you are an artisan and you are hand making your items, handmade on Amazon is perfect. You can start out with that program if you're making your items yourself. It really, if you, Amazon is going to benefit you the most if you have, a supply chain in place with the volume to support, or the volume of product and inventory to support your sales that you may get on Amazon. That's really going to be a really good scenario. But there's no no right or wrong answer to the size of business that can sell on Amazon. I mean, for me personally, I sell my used books on Amazon, just to repurpose them. So my wife and I, we read a lot of books, and I have my own seller account, and all I'm doing is selling used books, for like, I don't know, $2 or $3 each. And that's enough for me because I'm moving those books on to other individuals that want to read them.
Oh, fantastic. Well, yeah, it is. That actually sparks a lot of ideas, I'm sure, for a lot of people, Matt. Thank you so much for this. Talking about size of company, kind of company, I have one for startups, if I may ask you that one here. What is the criteria for a startup to set up their product offerings on Amazon.ca, and what are the best tips to improving their ranking? Are there any promotional opportunities at a local level that startups can take advantage of?
Yeah, I would say if you're a small business and you're in this category looking for this type of information, then I would highly recommend that you reach out to us at sellonamazon.ca@amazon.com, because we can provide you with more insight into what those tips and tricks are to get your business set up on Amazon. Again, some of the things that we talked about through the presentation of getting set up, there are those 4 or 5 things that you need to have ahead of time before you register for your Amazon account. And again, that's going to be your business email address, tax information, government issued ID, banking and routing information, so that you have all that in place so you're not held up throughout the registration process. And then again, if you reach out to us, we'll basically give you a narrow focus, because Amazon is so huge. There's so much information to take in. Even in this presentation, we barely scratched the surface. So a lot of the information that we can provide, we can do that in more of a one-on-one setting if you're ready to make that jump.
Thanks for that. I'm not sure if you can see the chat function as well. There is chat, there is Q&A, and there's my sheet with so it's a very popular topic. So this is fantastic. That's why I mentioned there was already a trend before the pandemic. It's growing, it's increasing. People have a lot of questions. One that I received through registration is another one that I would like to raise here. Are there any suggestions on Canadian products that are in demand globally, but that are not adequately sold on the market?
This is such a great question. And I want to make sure I answer this to the best of my ability. So let me give a little bit more context to my experience here with Amazon. My previous role on the team was working with our largest Amazon.com sellers here in the States and assisting them with expansion to Canada. Now, one of the main reasons for that was because of the lack of offerings on Amazon.ca at the time. And what a lot of businesses will do is they will do research on other marketplaces before expanding into that marketplace to see if popular items are already listed there or not. So if you're based in Canada and you're thinking about something to sell on Amazon.ca and you don't have your own branding or product yet, the reseller route is going to be a really good fit. And while I can't give specifics on categories or products that would do really well, what I can tell you, I can give you a strategy that you could utilize. If you go on Amazon.com and look at popular products, the best sellers that are in the #1 spot, and then go over to Amazon.ca, because they're 2 different websites. They have 2 different offerings. You can do some comparison analysis there to see if the best sellers in the US are being sold in Canada. And you may find some gaps there. And if you do find gaps, that could be an opportunity to source product and bring those offerings to Amazon.ca. So I've seen that strategy has been very effective. But whenever you go the reseller route, one thing to keep in mind is that you will be competing against potentially other businesses that are selling the same items.
Okay, great. I'm glad to hear you got really excited about the question. This is, again, great potential, great opportunity, Matt. Thank you very much for sharing that. And we do have 5 more minutes. Is there anything in the Q&A function that you have not answered yet?
There are some questions around how long to expect us to respond. If you could give us 48 hours to respond, if you send us an email to sellonamazonca@amazon.com, just give us about 48 hours to get back to you. And if you don't hear from us, by all means, send a follow-up email to us. It's not that we're ignoring you. It might be that we're catching up on the queue. So definitely don't give up on us. We're a small team. Again, we work with less than 1% of all Amazon sellers. It's not that we're ignoring individuals. We want to work with as many people as possible. To give a little more insight, whenever I'm working directly with small and medium-sized businesses, I have the opportunity to work with them for the calendar year. So if I start with a business today and we launch your business onto Amazon.ca, meaning we've got your account set up, we've got your product listings ready to go, we've sent in your first shipment to FBA, and now we've got your first sale. That's technically your launch date for us. We would have until December 31st, you and I, to work together on your business. So it's a calendar year. If you're at that point where you may not be ready to jump in and you want to do a little bit more research, definitely keep our information handy and reach back out to us in December or early January, because at that point, you now open up a full calendar year to work with us. And we have to roll over our books every year just so that we can have the opportunity to work with even more businesses. So the idea whenever I'm working with businesses throughout the year is to coach them as much as possible, teach them how to fish rather than feed them, so that whenever we have to go our separate ways, you're going to be able to stand on your own and continue to enjoy selling on Amazon.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much for this. I'm all about statistics and numbers. If I may ask one question, and I don't expect you to be able to answer, but I still would like to raise it. Well, it can't be always expected, right? So you mentioned, and I was interested in it, why that particular group, you mentioned 46% of businesses are female or women owned, which is interesting. Are there any other numbers you're aware of for other groups or populations that you would be able to share? And
nothing at this time, unfortunately, but I won't be able to provide any more insight into that right now. That's a number that we're able to share publicly. If there is any new information that I'm not aware of at this point, I will definitely share it with you and the registrants on the call here today. Unfortunately, I don't have any other demographics or any other percentages that I can share at this time.
No, not to worry. I find that very interesting, and it's great you're actually looking at that as well, because it is something that might be of interest to other groups and populations. So fantastic for pointing this out. Thank you so much. We do have one last question, as we have 2 more minutes on the chat. People are excited about this presentation, which is great, and they would love to see more of you, Matt, or your colleagues. So the question is, if in the future, if there's anyone, either you or on your team, who would bring such a presentation to other businesses or the Chamber network. And I guess that's for you to consider and embrace, and to answer whether that's a possibility. But it's wonderful to hear there's, I'm not surprised so much interest. This has been amazing. Are there any closing remarks, or would you like to answer this question? I'm sorry, I should give you the opportunity.
No, absolutely. No, we want to connect with as many groups as possible. If you represent a group of businesses, you're a chamber, business association, trade association, and you feel that this content would benefit your members and your community to help elevate those small businesses within the community and bring e-commerce to their businesses, we want to be part of that collaboration. We want to make sure that we're providing support and resources to as many communities as possible. So the presentation that I presented today, it may not be exactly what you're looking for. You may want something around handmade items. You may want something that's more focused on the logistics or brand owners. We certainly have content that we can curate to make sure we're bringing the most information to your members.
So that's truly customized. That's fantastic per market, per customer, per group, per product. So that's outstanding. So thank you very much, Matt, for the presentation and for all the conversations leading up to today's conversation. And thanks to the audience for being here with us today, for asking questions prior to joining the webinar, during the conversation, through chat, Q&A, and thanks to my colleagues as well for making this all a great event. And we hope to see everybody in the near future at another conversation. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.